Hi. Did you sleep well, sweetheart? Take a look around. Where do you think you are? Neely, you're on top of a skyscraper that I happen to own. Now, you are about 10 seconds away from being pushed off said skyscraper and plummeting to your death. Unless you cooperate with me. Why were you trying to steal from me last night? It was a job. Okay, let me rephrase that. What were you trying to steal from me last night? I don't have any cash here. I don't even have any gold or jewels. No safe to speak of. Nothing interesting. So, what were you after when you were skulking around my office? Ah, now we're getting somewhere. So what was it on my computer that you needed? Information. Okay, interesting. Now, who was this information being procured for? Ah, you're a professional, and I respect that. You don't have to tell me anything. However, you do have a rather large drop behind you. And unless you want to die for whoever put you up to this, I suggest you tell me what you were looking for. Interesting. Given the way you phrased that, I'd say you were looking for a spy. And perhaps my people caught wind of it. So you weren't technically trying to steal information, you were trying to delete it, weren't you? Does that mean that somebody in my employ has been unfaithful to my cause? Well, I am very astute. You know, I wouldn't normally do this. I wouldn't dangle somebody off a building and be all theatrical like I am now, but I saw something that you had. Something tattooed on your body, in fact. And it prevented me from, shall we say, throwing you to the dogs. Because normally I would have had my people interrogate you and they wouldn't have been so polite. I'm going to have to ask you, and you are going to answer right now. Who are you working for? Oh, that's too much. I was right all along, guys. That's brilliant, that really is. I can't believe you were willing to die for them. They're a bunch of losers. That gang has nothing, and they're falling apart. In fact, that's why they sent you, wasn't it? Listen, sweetheart. I know who the spy is. I found out who the spy was 3 months ago when we employed them. And I've been feeding them false information ever since. And I've been watching the gang you work for crumble from the inside. And it's been so very amusing. And I can't believe it's only recently that they realised that I knew who the spy was. But they don't think that I directly knew who the spy was. They think that one of my people found out, don't they? And they sent you to destroy the information. That is hilarious. What I should do is allow your gang to think that you succeeded in your mission in destroying said information, and then I'll continue feeding false information to the spy, watching your gang crumble from the inside out. The only issue is, I'd have to kill you in order to have that work. Now, I don't really want to kill you. Fortunately, that tattoo on your wrist is very auspicious. Because if you didn't have it, you'd already be dead, sweetheart. Why am I so interested in that tattoo? Because I know That's one half of a full tattoo. Somebody else has the other half on their wrist, don't they? Capricious little thing, aren't you? You always have been. From smugness to vitriol in a heartbeat. No, I'm afraid your hypothesis is quite erroneous, my darling. I didn't kill the person who had the other half of that tattoo. I am the person who had the other half of that tattoo. Look. See my wrist? Do you remember me? How could you not see it in my eyes? It's me, you idiot. I am your friend from the orphanage. I'm your beloved. At least that's what you told me. Anyway, before we were separated. Yes, I am your friend Max. Max Salvatore. And you? Well, I already know your name. We were gonna do everything together, weren't we? Me and you. Can you remember those cold nights when we used to have to cuddle up next to each other, look up at the moon, try and stay warm and stave off the frostbite, and we'd dream about conquering the world together? Can you remember how much you meant to me? You meant everything to me, you moron. I loved you, and I never stopped thinking about you. But since the orphanage closed down and me and you were separated, we couldn't find each other again. Even though we promised that we would find each other again. It's been 20 years since me and you parted ways. How old were we? 13? 14 maybe? I missed you. And I still feel the same way I did back then. When I look at you. I didn't need the tattoo to know it was you. But it's funny to see your eyes are just as crap as they used to be. They were crap. Your eyes you couldn't see a damn thing. Then again, it wasn't your fault. You wasn't allowed an eye test. We wasn't allowed basic health care at that shitty little orphanage, was we? So that's not your fault. Why did you end up with that crappy little gang? Why are you a thief? You're not part of the gang. You're just doing a job for them. So you're a thief for hire then. Me and you were both thieves when we were kids. That's how we had to get by. But we promised we'd make something of ourselves. Yes, I have made something of myself. I am the leader of this crime syndicate. You know who I am. I did change my name. No longer was I to be known as Max Salvatore. I am now Snake. Plain and simple. The Snake. The one who lurks in the tall grass, then takes out all that seek to harm him. I am the apex predator of the underworld. And you must have known it was me. So why didn't you come to see me sooner? You haven't been in this city for very long? Me and you were born in this city. What do you mean? When you were separated, you were... Wait, you were taken there? I didn't think they were doing that. I thought they were just taking you to the east side. Really? They took you to another country? Why didn't you try to contact me? You make a fair point. I didn't try to contact you either, but that's because I had no means to. I suppose so. You'd have had less means to there. So what are you doing back here then? You tried to find me? But why find me in this way? You didn't need money from that gang. You could have just come to me. I'd have gave you the money. And I'd have gave you some real jobs as well, not that shitty little razor gang you're rolling with at the moment. They offered you a chance to save up, and you couldn't refuse it. You really didn't mean for this to happen. Wait, so this whole thing was just serendipitous? We found each other purely by mistake. You did not know you were stealing from me. Well, of course not. Like I said, I changed my name. How unreal. What a coincidence, don't you think? I'm gonna take you down now. Ready? No, it's fine. Just let me hold you. I'm gonna untie your hands, alright? Don't punch me. Oh, stop being such a baby. It was just flunitrazepam or something that my guards injected you with. It wasn't like we smacked you around the head with a metal pipe, you moron. Yeah, well, you make a good point, as always. I think we should probably go and speak in my office. Yeah, I know, right? I always said I'd have a solid gold throne to sit on one day. I'm glad you still remember that. Take a seat. Just sit anywhere. I don't really care. As long as we can hear each other, I suppose. So, let me get this straight. Me and you were best friends. Well, me and you were technically in love in the orphanage because we had no one else. It was just you and me against the world. Then the orphanage went under. We were split up. You were sent to a different country, and I continued to live here, which is where I rose and built a criminal empire. You, on the other hand, became an international thief, was able to save up enough money to come back here to look for me. Then, when you did land back here, you were broke, so you went to work as a freelance thief for that shitty little razor gang that's been a pain in my arse ever since I started. And you ended up doing a job which landed you right in my lap. That is such an unusual coincidence, don't you think? It's as if we can't escape each other, isn't it? I'd be lying if I said I wasn't very, very, very happy to see you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about all the theatrics earlier. I thought you'd turned on me. Frankly, I thought you were here to kill me. I've been betrayed so much throughout the course of my career that it wouldn't have surprised me one bit if you would have betrayed me. I know. And I'm sorry I didn't come looking for you. Frankly, I thought you were dead. I checked the orphanage's files to see where you might have gone, and I thought you'd moved to the east side, so I thought you'd forgotten about me. I didn't realise they'd shipped you off to a different country. I should have looked harder. With the connections I had, it wouldn't have been too difficult. I guess I was just too busy being a power-hungry gangster. I know, and I'm sorry. But you're here now. The only person that I've ever loved. The closest thing I've ever had to family. To someone to call my own. Is back here. Listen. I don't know what you expected of me when you found me again, but I'm sure you wasn't expecting to see me as this monster, as this evil gangster. To be honest, you probably thought I was dead as well, didn't you? You're proud of me. Yeah, I'm proud of me too, but the things I've done, the sacrifices I've had to make in order to get here, you wouldn't be saying that if you saw the things I'd done. You still would. You're just as I remember. Can you remember when we gave each other these tattoos? We'd just learned that we were being separated. Now we were just 13-year-old children. We had nothing. We had nowhere else to go. It was either that or be homeless. And where we lived, a 13-year-old kid homeless wouldn't last very long, so we had no other choice. But so we would never truly lose each other, we gave each other a tattoo. A tattoo that would fit in with each other and remind us who we are. I never let that tattoo leave my skin. I could have had it covered up. I could have had it lasered off. But I always believed I'd see you again. And even though it's been a very long time, I still feel the same way looking in your eyes. God, I missed you. I wish things were easier for us. No, you are absolutely right. Things have never been easy for us. That's why we are who we are. That's why we do what we do. But I am going to make you a little proposition. Now, you can go back to that gang if you want, but they aren't going to be around for very long. The false information I've been feeding them, they are basically bankrupt. And when they get to a point where they are literally starving, that's when we'll attack, when they're at their weakest. Unfortunately, that means your employment will end with them. So, to try and get ahead of the curve, why don't you come work for me? Yeah, I mean, why not? It'll be just like old times. You'll be the thief, I'll be the gangster, and me and you will do some incredible shit together. We'll make some real trouble. Why don't we run away together? Sweetheart, I can't do that. If I left now, a lot of people would suffer. Gangsters, especially in this city, aren't just criminals. We're the caretakers of the poor, of the downtrodden. I can't turn my back on my people. That's kind of what you was hoping to do when you found me? Leave with me? Well, I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't want a life with you. But you don't know me anymore. You knew my past self, but it's been a very long time since me and you spoke. You might not even like being around me. So to just run away with me, that seems a little impractical, doesn't it? You do know me. I haven't changed a day. Well, then you'll know that I won't abandon my people. Besides, I have a project coming up. Something very, very special that I think you can get behind. If you can help me with this project, then I'll think about leaving my people. I have the ability to, being the top and all. I'll just appoint someone new and I'll go into retirement. But there is something I want to do before I leave. Well, can you remember all the abuse, all the torture, and all the shit we had to suffer when we were in that orphanage? What if I told you that wasn't necessarily the orphanage's fault, why that place was so bad? You see, all of the city's money that should have been pumped into the welfare system for children was actually diverted. It was stolen by a company a company called Newport. Now, it would just so happen that Newport is owned by my rival Mafia family. A family that has been a real serious thorn in my side since day one. I would like to take that family down, but not just take them down, not just kill the head, because if you chop the head off a hydra, 2 more grow back. No, I'd like to stab it in the heart. I'd like to make sure that a piece of shit, no moral Mafia family like that isn't allowed to exist in this city anymore. So kids like us don't have to suffer when corrupt politicians are forced to side with them. Yes, well, when you're me, you have access to an awful lot of information. Trust me, my sources are very correct. Anyway, taking down this family isn't going to be easy. It's going to be real difficult. But once I'm done, we will be the dominant crime syndicate in the city, which means we'll have more of an opportunity to leave and chase the life we always wanted. It'll be much easier for me to achieve all of this with a world-class thief in my employ. But I wouldn't be employing you for your skills. I'd be employing you because I trust you. Because you're the only person I trust. Is that so hard to believe? Well, believe it. Because it's true. I still love you. But I have to do this. We have to do this. One last job. And this whole city will be ours. Revenge will be ours. And we will have everything we've ever wanted. You'll do anything for me. You're mine and I'm yours. We used to say that to each other, didn't we? When we were comforting each other back at that hellhole. I tell you what, should we do what we used to do? Pass me your tattoo. I'll hold out my wrist, you hold out your wrist. Let's lock both sides of the heart together. I'm yours, and you're mine. Always. I love you too. I am really glad you tried to steal from me, even though you did a really crap job. I have to admit, I'm very impressed with how many cameras you took down. That was really, really good. But you missed the secret camera in my desk, and that's how my guard was alerted to your presence, and that's how we got you. See, now, that is not your fault. Don't you worry. I'm not going to take that as a bad job interview. What I am going to say is you're in desperate need of an upgrade. And with the equipment I have on hand, believe me, you will be the world's best thief. Not just world class. Well, we better get preparing then, hadn't we? I'm sorry that it has to be this way. But it's like you said. It's never been easy for us, has it? Not for a damn second. I love you. Thank you for finding me. Now, I believe we have a city to burn. And after that, a life to live. All being well, of course. Let's do this.